Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everyone for coming back to my channel, and thank you so much everyone for listening in the podcast. It is Sunday, March 10th, 2024. I wanted to come here and do a follow-up video on a story that I came and spoke about back in September of 2023. September last year, I came here and I believe I talked to you guys about Jamie Lee Korowaski. She was the young girl, 26 years old, who was drunk, triple the permit limit. She was so drunk and driving a golf cart, and she plowed into a bride who's just celebrated her wedding ceremony. She plowed into them, she killed the bride, and sent the husband to the emergency room, and he had to have surgery. It was a really bad story. I think when something like that happens, it tells you, number one, how fragile we are and how anything can happen. And your life can change at any moment. That's something that I tell you guys all the time. So here's the thing though, Jamie Lee Korowaski, the person who who plowed into the bride, she actually got released on bond this past March 1st, and she's awaiting trial under house arrest, okay? So it's so crazy. She was actually 25 when it happened. And the bride's name, I believe her name is Samantha, Samantha Miller. And it's so crazy. I remember watching the interview they did with the husband. And can you imagine the nightmare, right? Imagine the trauma for everybody who was at that wedding. Imagine the bystander. Imagine everything that I remember watching a video also, because I know a lot of people just want to, you know, focus on the family that's affected by this, specifically the bride. And I understand that. I cannot imagine that they went through something like that and how heartbreaking that must have been. And it still is. It's gonna take so long, like years, to recover from that, especially when a wedding doesn't get prepared like overnight. It takes months, right? And you see the preparation and you help the bride and you book things and you know you do flight preparation, and it's so much planning leading up to that day, and then this happened. Something like this happened, unimaginable, unthinkable. And it tells you, like I said, how fragile like we are, and and your life can change at any moment. Okay, so I also believe that Jamie Lee have gone through a lot of trauma, not excusing her behavior at all. I remember watching her in talking with somebody. I don't know if it was like a family member. There was a video or a conversation that was it came out last year of her speaking from the jail, saying how her life is now ruined. All of that stuff. Well, yeah, you killed somebody and you were drunk triple the limit, right? And she was, like I said, she was just 25. um it's so crazy how there's such a drinking community, okay, that gets celebrated, especially during the college years. Whoever doesn't drink, and it's not like it's a trend, whoever doesn't drink is a loser. I think all of this stuff is celebrated during college years, even like during high school time too. I don't know, now probably even younger age now. And it's so sad, but alcohol is a serious thing, and if people have no control over that, it can ruin their life, like it happened to Jamie. And it can ruin their life, and it could be, I remember watching years ago, a there was a TV show called Interventions, right? And most of the cases on that show was about people who had a problem with alcohol or addiction, right? And it addiction is such a demon that it's so hard to overcome that, right? You need to pray against it in the name of Jesus. And it's so crazy, right? But like I said, the culture and the applause that people get by drinking, specifically during that age, 18, 21, they're like, oh, now you're legal to drink and all of that. And we know a lot of the times it's never done with a limit, right? No matter how many cases we hear about drunken driving and people who have changed somebody's life for all eternity, young kids that have killed other people, driving in the wrong direction, leaving a party late at night, no matter how many times that happens, it keeps on repeating. The story repeats itself, right? And the tragic story of this bride, Samantha, just, you know, just leaving her wedding, excuse me, and then Jamie Lee Komoroski plows into her, killing her and injuring. I believe it was the groom and also some of the bridal party, and it's so crazy. But like I said, she just got released on March 1st of this year, awaiting trial. And like I said, um, I'm sure she's when things like this happen. Of course, there are regretful of the outcome. Obviously, I think you know it's not like she was like, okay, let me get on this go kart and like plow into whoever the first person I see. Of course, I'm sure, obviously I don't think what she was I don't know what she was thinking in that moment, but I don't think that was her intention. But when you are drinking so much and you are so careless, it's hard for people not to think that's probably your intention, because when people say, what are you doing, you're crazy, you're driving like crazy, it's because your actions are showing a different thing, and you're like, well, I don't mean that, I don't mean to rush people off the road, I don't mean to do that. Yeah, but because you're being irresponsible and not even thinking about nobody else but yourself, and you who like, what are you doing getting in a golf cart, getting into operating vehicle for that matter, drunk 3 times the level, right, the limit level. So yeah, that's very responsible, and look at where she is now, right? So like I said, she got released on bond March 1st, awaiting trial under house arrest, okay? But one thing I gotta say about her, that she was heard in a conversation. I don't know how that happened, how it got leaked, but she was heard in a conversation saying that she has a drinking problem. And one of the things in life that you have to do is admit that you have a problem before you can actually do something about it. I think, it went to the complete stream for her case, and she, I guess you can say, she finally now, admitted that she has a problem, because obviously that day or days before that, she didn't think she did, right? Because if she would have known that, she wouldn't have done what, getting into a car and doing all of that. But it says here that, let me give you a brief update. I do apologize if you hear me moving the computer here, but drunk driver accused of killing bride and leaving wedding admits she's an alcoholic and addict in a jailhouse phone calls. Okay, the woman accused of plowing a speeding car into a golf cart while drunk. So actually, she was driving a car. I do apologize for that confusion. The woman accused of plowing a speeding car into a golf cart while drunk and killing a newlywed bride departing her wedding ceremony. What a tragic situation here. Admitted she's an alcoholic and addict, and gushed over her assignment to spend the holidays with her family in a series of recorded jail phone calls obtained by the Post. So she's saying she's actually happy that she's released on like house arrest, because she get to spend time with her family, and that's the thing. I know that's how life is, I guess. She gets to do that, but the bride, right, I keep forgetting that's her name, Samantha, right? The bride, she never got that chance, right? And I really hope, let me just tell you, I really hope that Jamie Lee gets counseling. Obviously, I'm sure she's probably getting some counseling in the jail already, but it's just like, it's so hard. It's almost like she's admitting though that she does has a problem. She actually said it to her sister on a phone call that was recorded. So she's admitting she has a problem, but it's gonna take more than that, right? She has to actually work on it, right? Because a lot of people that get arrested for many things, they say, "Oh yeah, I have a problem." Yeah, but you're not doing anything effectively to combat that, to go against that, and try to solve that and overcome that situation, right? So I do apologize though. You're gonna hear my heater come up briefly here, but it says here that she was released March 1st, and she posted a $150,000 bond, and she said, this is quote unquote exactly what she said: "I consider myself an alcoholic addict because anything that makes me feel different or takes me away from what I'm supposed to be feeling, I used to try to do that." She said on a recorded phone call on December 11th, this past 2023. "I just didn't think life had any meaning. I was extremely lonely and didn't get life. I could never just sit down with my thoughts." So she was definitely escaping something here. That's another thing. There's a lot of people dealing with mental health. That's why you have to be kind to others, and you have to look for change in behavior, and be open to have strong conversations. I don't know her family situation here, like if she grew up with a mom and dad or anything like that, or who she was living with when it happened. But for her to say that everything she did was trying to escape um, her feelings, and what she was feeling in that moment, that's why she turned to alcohol. There's a lot of people who do that, right? There's a lot of people who are doing that right now. And I just tell you, if you're listening, if you know somebody in your family or your close circle that struggle with some type of addiction, specifically alcohol, because that's what we're talking about here, I'll just say this: pray in the name of Jesus Christ. That is the name above all names. Pray for God to help you clean yourself from all of that, and always trying to find the joy and your comfort in Jesus. Like the last couple of weeks for me have been very kind of like hard, and just dealing with situations, and then I will be like working in the computer, and then suddenly I'm just laughing. I'm like, it's so crazy how it's almost like that's when you see it. I'm like, I have a million problems, but I have the joy of the Lord, because I know God's gonna take care of whatever happened. And sometimes we think that everything is so like the end, like this is gonna be the the worst thing that will happen to me, and then it gets fixed, it gets resolved. It's almost like it evaporates in a second. You're like, wasn't I worrying about something just like a half an hour ago? Oh yeah, that got resolved and it's gone already. Thanks be to God, right? So this is our hope, and it's our future. It's our hope, our future, our present, our eternity. If you believe in Jesus Christ, that's where you get it from. Anything, God will take care of it, and you don't need to turn to alcohol. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of people who believe in Jesus who also turn to alcohol. Like I said, it is a process, and there's a lot of people struggling right now. But always don't ever lose hope, and pray in the name of Jesus Christ. God, this is so big. I don't know what to do. I need your help in this. Whatever the situation might be, pray like that, and let the power of the Lord take care of it. You'll see God taking care of it. Sometimes, there are situations that happen to me. I'm like, how is this gonna work? What is going on? How is this gonna get resolved? I don't even know. And then, like I said, it gets resolved. And I'm like, this is what God is like, okay. At least almost like God is saying, hi, I'm over here. Remember me? Like, you have to just pray, okay, guys? Just pray in the name of Jesus. I also do when I see myself, like your mind can go crazy. That's why something that you can learn from Jamie Lee is that she's saying how she was lonely, and she said, I just didn't think life had any meaning. And all of those thoughts, is the enemy operating on somebody. That's why you have to. I see myself sometimes thinking, like, like, if I'm having a good day, and I'm like, why suddenly I'm just like getting into this negative thing? Like, it could have been something that I read or something that just pop up out of nowhere. There's a lot of that's why you have to also be careful about news and things like that. And I have to admit, though, in the past I had done a lot of videos about breaking news and things like that. Then I calm down on that, and I'm like, I don't want to do that on a daily basis. um, Once in a while, okay, but there's a lot of people predicting things, specifically when Jesus said nobody knows the day or the time. And what I mean is, like, if we see, let's just say, like, tomorrow, like the market, like it will go, if there will be like breaking news, like the lowest um stock market, the lowest, and people are like, Jesus is coming back tomorrow. Like, okay, what? So things like that. And when I see myself, like, once you start discovering that, okay, hold on one second, then you're like, okay, let me turn this day around. Okay. And you listen to worship music. And I gotta tell you, there's a therapy in that. Listening to worship music, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna put with a few songs, and then by the time you even realize you're into song number 3 and you're standing up praising the Lord. How amazing is that? That we living here on this earth, we get to praise the creator of everything, the creator of the universe. That's amazing, guys. So alcohol, and there's so many addictions, there's so many things, and there's a million, we all have million problems going on right now, right? But we have Jesus, we have God that can fix anything, and then all the troubles that we think in our head, it will evaporate in no time. Like, you have to think about life like that. And I know I came here to speak about this update about this case, and we keep praying for the family that was affected by this, specifically the bride and the groom family, everybody who attended that wedding, everybody who was a guest. I mean, obviously the guest, Samantha Miller, she was just 34 years old, and then the husband Eric Hutchinson, 36, who also spent a lot of time in the hospital after this accident. And can you imagine, like I said, a wedding is not planned overnight, as we all know it. Especially a wedding that has a lot of guests, right? And they see this couple marrying each other, and then they see them leave, and then this crazy accident happened by somebody who was coping with life by turning to alcohol. That tells you that there's, like, your life can change at any moment, like I said, but there's a lot of people that need the Lord. And we as believers, we need to more and more share the gospel. Because people, like, I used to have a job before, and and it used to be chaotic. Like, we used to be so busy. I used to work at this store, right? And it used to be crazy, busy times, during the holidays and things like that. And people would look at me all the time and be like, I don't know how you always so cool and like calm, and like they feel like they always would tell me, like, you feel so unaffected. Trust me, I get a lot of like I get I I knew I had a lot of work to do. I knew there was a lot of stress. I knew we have timelines to deal with, but I know that God will take care of it. Like, God will help me overcome all of that. So I guess some people, when they see that, they get offended by it. But that's an opportunity for you to share the gospel, which I did many times, and I also got in trouble for doing so. But anyways, that's a different video. I'm just saying to you guys, Jamie Lee Komoroski, she was the person accused of plowing into the bride back in September of last year. She has now finally have been heard saying that she had an alcohol problem and that she's an addict and that she will need help to overcome that. And I hope this is a something positive in her life for her to acknowledge that. I hope also that during the trial there is some type of apology to the family. I don't remember exactly if she have ever said anything to the family, but I hope that comes out soon. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Actually, I didn't mean to make this video so long, but thank you so much for listening, and let me know what you guys think about this. I know it's hard. I know these are conversations that a lot of people don't like to have. Nobody wants to admit they have a problem. But like I said, if you need help, if you need prayer, please reach out. You can always email me. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel and listening in the podcast. Have a good day. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. I'm here to invite you to my podcast, Julissadesigns, and it can be found on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can join me every day as I make episodes of the latest news, real life stories, and I also share my favorite Bible verse. Hope to see you then. God bless. Everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you want to know more about me, you can always visit www.julissadesigns.com. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.